man looked ordinary enough, just another face in the crowd. But with a single glance at the audience, he sensed something was off, and they kept escorting suspicious people out one after another. He asked the merch guy, Zhao Bai, what was going on. Zhao Bai, trusting his gut that this guy seemed decent, spilled a terrifying secret. This concert was a trap. The police were here to capture a serial killer, brutal murderer known only by his nickname, the Butcher. Cold sweat trickled down the man's back. Because he was the Butcher, he'd already claimed 12 lives. But today, he put away his knives, just to take his daughter to see her favorite pop idol live. But as the show went on, more and more cops appeared in the crowd. Kong whispered to his daughter not to wander off. She needed to use the bathroom. Once she was gone, he locked himself inside a stall, pulled out his phone, and launched a secret app, inputting a long code. A video feed popped up, an Asian boy bound and gagged. Victim number 13. Whenever King's stress levels peaked, he'd start hallucinating, seeing visions of his dead mother. After splashing cold water on his face, he calmed himself and focused. He needed a way out fast. On the steps, a drunk female fan slumped over. Her friend left for just a moment. Kong casually walked by and gave her a gentle push. What happened? I think she drank too much. He planned to slip out in the chaos, but outside the stadium, the entrance was swarming with SWAT. No way out. He returned to the main arena with his daughter. Just as a guest performer was being introduced, their seats were right next to the stage lift. As the headliner called out, platform rose, revealing a rap-dancing male idol. Fans went wild. Every phone was recording. Kong noticed something. The platform connected directly to the backstage area. Could that be an escape route? He nudged his daughter. Wanna go check it out? There might be hidden loot down there, but she refused. She'd waited over 2 years for this concert. You're acting weird. Dad, is something wrong? Kong didn't want to ruin her night, so he gave up the idea. But he wasn't ready to be caught either, so he slipped away again, this time to find Zhao Bai. Zhao Bai had taken a liking to Kong, even let him into the warehouse area. Kong helped him lift a heavy box, earning even more trust. When Zhao Bai learned Kong was a firefighter, he dropped all defenses and shared everything. The police had staged a full operation, and every employee was part of the mission. The secret access code was just 3 words. Buddha on Earth. Kong stole Zhao Bai's keycard and entered the staff break room, where SWAT officers were finalizing their next move. No one noticed him listening from behind. Calm as ever, he walked through the crowd of officers, made himself coffee, and even chatted with them like nothing was wrong. Then, on his way back out, he snagged a walkie-talkie. Everything was going smoothly until trouble showed up. One of the parents from his daughter's class spotted him and wouldn't stop talking about school. Suddenly, a voice on the walkie shouted, "Get him!" Kong spun around, but the officers tackled a different suspect. A stern woman with sharp eyes stepped onto the scene, clearly the mission's commander. Kong, feeling cornered, hurried back to the concert. He overheard something that chilled him. The police didn't know his face, only that the Butcher had a tattoo on his arm. Thinking quickly, Kong pulled his smartwatch over the tattoo and searched the venue map for the nearest fire alarm. He planned to trigger a false fire, use the chaos to escape, but just before he could act, the commander anticipated him again, issuing a strict order. If a fire breaks out, evacuate women only. All men must be searched. Kong knew this woman was sharp, so time for plan C. He entered the staff kitchen where lunch was being prepared. No security, no supervision. He tossed an entire bottle of canola oil into a fryer and cranked the heat to 400 degrees Celsius. Minutes later, the fryer exploded, burning a worker badly. Kong stripped off his jacket, threw on an apron, and disguised himself as kitchen staff. He tried the employee exit, only to find SWAT guarding the rooftop too. But Kong was a master liar. He claimed to be a chicken shop worker and spoke the code. Buddha on Earth. It worked. Still, the rooftop exit was blocked. His nerves were fraying. Hallucinations returned. His mother's ghost whispered again. During intermission, his daughter found him. Why aren't you enjoying the show? He had no answer. But then a bold idea struck him. He found the star's manager and told a heartfelt lie. His daughter had leukemia, and her last wish was to meet her idol. The manager was moved to tears. Security was bypassed. Backstage, Joy. She was meeting Chantel, America's top teen pop icon. But Kong wasn't here for selfies. He needed a final move. Then luck struck again. A fan collapsed backstage. Kong rushed to help, even pulled out a medical kit. Everyone saw him as a warm-hearted hero. Then came the encore. It's her last song. Just enjoy. Kong noticed how Chantel helped a staffer who fell. No diva attitude, just genuine kindness. That empathy might be his only way out. After the show, he and his daughter waited in the hallway. He wasn't there to say thank you. He was eavesdropping. He heard the commander tell Chantel, "The butcher is here. After the crowd leaves, we'll search every one of the 3,000 men." Kong leaned in, whispered softly. Chantel thought he was going to say something emotional. Instead, he confessed, "I'm the butcher." To prove it, he pulled up the video feed of his hostage. Then he made his demand. "Drive me out of here in your private car, or I'll release the gas. Catch me. Save him. Oh, and by the way, great show." Terrified, Chantel had no choice. She ushered Kong and his daughter into her limousine. Outside the stadium, angry men stood in long lines for inspection. Kong smiled, thinking he'd won, but Chantel had a plan of her own. She asked if she could visit their home. The daughter screamed with joy, just like if Taylor Swift suddenly said she wanted to come over. Kong turned pale. He tried to signal no with his phone, but his daughter called her mom with the good news. He couldn't blow his cover now, so he gave their real address. The battle of wits had just begun. At home, Kang's wife, Jin, welcomed them warmly, offering snacks to their famous guest. Kong played the good husband, but his nerves were on edge. He whispered threats to Chantel. "Say anything and the hostage dies." Chantel nodded, then smoothly turned the conversation. She casually mentioned the manhunt for the butcher. Using psychological profiling, she described him in detail. Middle-aged, white, average build, troubled childhood. Every trait pointed to Kong. Then she asked to play a piano duet with the daughter. Kong had no choice but to agree. While playing, Chantel swiped both their phones, ran to the bathroom, and locked herself in. Using the Unlocked app, she went live. Instantly, tens of thousands of fans tuned in. She gave clues about the hostage's location. One fan recognized that it was across the street. They called the police. When Kong broke in, the hostage was gone. Furious, he grabbed Chantel and forced her into the garage. She tried to reach the kind side of him, but her words only made him more paranoid. The steel gate opened, only to reveal Jin and the kids standing in front of the car. They'd escaped through the upstairs window. Kong froze. He couldn't run them over. Chantel escaped. SWAT swarmed the house, but when they broke in, Kong was gone. He'd vanished through a hidden passage, disguised himself as SWAT, and slipped away in the limo. On the way to a safe house, they passed a busy intersection. Chantel screamed out the window, "Help, it's me." Crowd swarmed the car. Traffic stopped. Kong stayed calm. He'd rigged the car with a dummy, while SWAT riddled the limo with bullets. Kong was already in the crowd. Immediately, people recognized her. A crowd formed around the car, phones out, cameras flashing. Aunt May and SWAT blocked every exit. Dozens of guns aimed at the driver's seat. Shots fired nothing. They'd hit a mannequin made from a helmet and cardboard. Jack was already gone, having changed clothes and blended into the crowd. He paused to watch the chaos, then disappeared into the night. Later, back at the house, Aunt May comforted Linda. She said Jack had hidden his true self for years. To everyone else, he was the perfect father. May arranged for the kids to stay with relatives and assigned patrol units for their protection. That night, Jack returned. One last thing remained, settling the score with his wife. Linda had suspected him for a while. At first, she thought he was cheating, always coming home late. But there was no perfume, just the smell of bleach. That's when she realized he wasn't having an affair. He was covering up murders. Had anonymously tipped off the police about the concert, and that led to the trap. Now, Jack stood in the kitchen, knife in hand, ready to kill. Linda knew she wouldn't survive. She asked for one last request. "Fine," Jack said. "We were married once. I won't let you starve in the afterlife." He watched her eat the cake 3 bites, and the plate was clean. A few words later, Jack staggered. I drugged him with his own knockout serum. The room spun. He saw his dead mother again. Under the drug's influence, he wept like a baby and stumbled toward the vision. Then zap, 3 full taser charges. Jack convulsed violently and collapsed. It was over. Aunt May had won. As he was escorted to the police car, he spotted his daughter's childhood ride-on toy. He bent down and picked it up. People assumed it was a sign of remorse, but every move Jack made had a purpose. Inside the car, he pulled a hidden spoke from his sleeve, bent it into a makeshift key, and unlocked the cuffs. The screen faded to black and open ending. There may be more to come.